Welcome to another episode of Chork Monkeys. I'm your host, Oshi Ren. Today I present to you Slain Investigative Reporter, Suspect, County Public Administrator. This story hits home in my town of Las Vegas. The information on today's story is gruesome and appalling. Viewer discretion is advised. On September 9th at 10:30 a.m., after receiving a 911 call, authorities found the body of investigative journalist Jeff Herman, 69, dead with stab wounds. The victim was found with multiple sharp force injuries and was considered a homicide immediately. The news shocked the Las Vegas area as the suspect was still at large. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department released images of a suspect wanted in the stabbing death of a newspaper reporter. As you can see, the male suspect was dressed in a very distinctive getup, a large gardening hat that covered his face, a roadside construction shirt with bright orange reflective patches. In addition, a vehicle description was released. Las Vegas residents were called upon in search efforts for this dangerous man. In order to understand the severity of this homicide, you first have to know who Jeff Herman was. Jeff Herman was an investigative reporter for over 4 decades. He took on the mob, corrupt government officials, people from the underworld. He took on very violent and dangerous people. With multiple life threats and actual attacks on his life, Jeff Herman was the hard-bitten newsman. Now is a great time to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know when a new episode hits the air. Please comment on content that you, the viewer, would love to see. You have to ask yourself, who would want Jeff Herman erased from existence? That list can be very long. This was the same question asked by Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Authorities came across a Twitter feed from spring of 2021 from an unknown politician in charge of an unknown department. This was the authorities' introduction to Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellez. Herman, who worked for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, had written about bullying and favoritism in the public administrator's office and an inappropriate relationship by Tellez with a female subordinate. Now we have a motive. Now we need the evidence. Authorities found DNA linking Tellez to the crime scene, along with shoes and the infamous straw hat, at the home of Tellez after conducting a search warrant. Authorities arrested Robert Tellez after a brief standoff at his home on September 7, 2022. Tellez was hospitalized for non-life-threatening self-inflicted wounds. Herman's colleagues had no idea his life was in danger. Herman would recount the time he was attacked by an organized crime associate. Jeff spent over 40 years covering the worst of Las Vegas. This was a guy who ran down mobsters, wise guys, and killers. Says Glenn Cook, executive editor of the Review-Journal. Jeff's death is a sombering reminder of the inherent risks of investigative journalism, said Diana Fuentes, executive director of the Organization of Investigative Reporters and Editors. Journalists do their jobs every day, digging deep to find information the public needs to know and has a right to see. You would think the district attorney would have a slam dunk of a case. I, like most Las Vegas residents, will be following this case. Tellez recently had his bail hearing, and his next hearing was set for September 13th, at which time his charges will be formally announced. I will keep you updated on this case. Strap in for a roller coaster of a ride. Now that concludes today's episode. Here are some other episodes to catch up on. Don't forget to subscribe so we can build up that fan base. Till next time, I'm Oshi Ren reminding you, once a Chork Monkey, always a Chork Monkey.